Hello, Sosuke. Why is it yellow? Oh, this ain't good. A soliloquy. Cannot comprehend. Something wrong with the internet. It's on the red. They cannot discern whether dead or alive, standing or rising, or sitting. Whether thoughtful or faultless, begging alms or offering prayers. They know not a thing, they express no pain nor any joy. No fear, yet no relief. Only impending premonition and chill informs them that end has come. They merely die meaningless steps in such a way on such a stage. Yet something confide inside me helps them prolong their life just a little longer. It begs them to remain human until the very last moment. Do not pray but sing, Reina does all can do. My soliloquy. It is precisely I must be a traitor. A traitor to proper human history, and to the principle of honesty. Was the surety or circumstance of my own incompetence, or perhaps it would be better called competence. My sins, my fate, my obligations, the day put an end, then will arrive at last. Here beneath the falls, we name Reikosaka. Now let's start the briefing by addressing the large-scale singularity. Internet is so bad today. It's turned to red, not staying green. Its state is unstable, but it's no longer than 780. However, there may be antibiotic of at least 100 years. The location is undetermined, but judging by the observed vegetation, the Far East, Africa, and Europe are off the table. We presume it's what was previously North America. It lacks magic energy, density, seen in the Age of Gods, but there have been extremely large disturbances in the observed values. Ripples of magical energy are generated insensity upon beaten by rain. Has me wondering if someone over there is wildly throwing around anti-army Nova phantasms. Furthermore, its human order foundation value is error. Why error? Aren't immeasurable values designate with the rank EX? Because this one isn't even immeasurable. We've never seen a case like this before. Under normal circumstances, we have to mark the smallest microsingular as E-. After all, there's no need to take note of anything smaller than that. We wouldn't even consider that a singularity. Is there some kind of bug in the system? If only. We'll be monitoring the Foundation value alongside, observing you. In any event, we lack the answers. Pretty much everything right now. I see, things are mostly unknown, which means... gotta find out firsthand. Those are words of someone who never plans ahead, but yes, you're right. Fortunately, Mr. Holm is one of the compatible servants for this spaceship. We want you to bring the truth of the matter straight into light. You can do that, can't you? It's a mountain of tasks, but I'll move it, probing into truth exactly what the Thanatos do for a living. It's all Barrett's up to you. Aha, is that your idea of salutation? Is that all for singularity? Then it's my turn to explain. We'll have one more servant accompany you this time. Unfortunately, it won't be MASH. That's right. Maintenance our Ortonus hasn't finished yet. As technical advisor, I can't allow her to race shift before maintenance is complete. She maintains through the fierce battle across the Fair Kingdom in Tunguska, all without rest. Her syncgraph may have drifted out of sync a bit. Full. I guess he's not coming with us this time either. Well, the plan is to race shift her to you, as reinforced once everything is good to go. And so instead, your additional partner is... There is no need for suspense in the matter, it is I, Lord Vlad. Indeed, it is a great role, but I will accept it most humbly. There were several other compatible servants aside from Lord Vlad. But 3 units are the limit for this spaceship. 2 if we send MASH as a rear guard. And since Holmes is committed, we can only have 1 spot open. It was successfully resolved through peaceful discussion and with hardly any bloodshed. So they resolved it with a fight to the death. This singularity is packed with mysteries, Master, but do not lose sight of the objective. Excessive empathy for one adversary tends to lead to foolish turns. Although it may be too late to say such things, For you are the master and should do as you please. Very well, I shall be on standby in spirit form. Call upon me if you need me. Quite dependable. Finally, there's one more special guest for the reshift. Another. That is right. If we have two masters, our operational scope will expand. Shion, do you mean? Karok? Yes, bullseyes. Well then, Karok, please report to the deck with as much enthusiasm as you muster. Yeah, gotcha. I'm Karok Zemplis, former master of A-Team. Karok, hold on. Aren't you still a character? I am, but my Lostbelt has disappeared. So has Olympus, which was to be our refugee. In other words, my only option was surrender. Obviously, I don't expect you to take my word for it. I don't believe this nonsense. You're free not to. I will have to prove it through my actions. What's with the collar? Good catch, Shiki. Shouldn't give them the rundown. Right. What we have here is Atlas Institute handcrafted Mega's killer collar. If he takes any suspicious action while we're monitoring, the collar's function activates, completely destroying his magic circuits. The same applies if he tries to force its removal. It isn't necessarily meant to kill by design, but the intentional disruption of magic circuits caused by this collar would most definitely result in death. Oh, and be aware that unauthorized use of magecraft will also trigger the collar. No missing words on my account, honestly, but that's it in a nutshell. So Karok. Yeah. Good to be working together. Okay, first things first. As Magus, don't go flashing your hands around carelessly. They reveal too much information. As a master, you should know how important the hand housing a command spell is. Those grim Magus-like words help me remind that I too am a Magus. When it comes to Yuki, having the aptitude for being master didn't automatically make him Magus. So maybe you can instruct him a little in that area. Cut out. Zemplis. Fine by me. Mesiah requiring the serious light. It couldn't be removed. Please put it aside for now. Understood. If the alien gun could remotely activate the serious light, they would have done so by now. Being over anxious would be ill-advised. True, it's still a command spell, however, huge a skill. Your collar is sure to activate before it can be triggered. We should try to avoid that though, if at all possible. I'm done with my end of briefing, Shion. Is there anything else? Yes, one last thing. There are keywords for singularly defined by cryptic predictions. No problem, rebellion eyelids. What does that even mean? I'm just confounded as you are. The facts are as we see them. This singularity cannot be overlooked and is on the same scale as the 7 singularities previous. That is the short of it. Even though it does put us at a standstill in regards to our approaching the 7th Lostbelt. Annihilate the large-scale singularity at any cost. Stand by for reshift. Roger that. Whatever the era, whatever the place, whatever the ideology, nothing is more difficult to succeed in than war. Die, die, die. There's nothing but artless death there. Neither race, gender, nor age enter into it. There are those who get their skill, effort, and luck, even they meet an anticlimactic end in the face of death. In death, living things become a mere lump of flesh. That's the natural order. Be that as it may, with serpents this failed to occur. When they die, they fade away. There's no sign of having been there, no record of their presence. They are so abstract, it confounds the mind. Whether they are heroes who saved their homeland, or anti-heroes that brought them to ruin, their nonetheless die as though it were only natural for whatever the reason, or never change, no matter how much time passes, or how civilization develops. Killing one another is simply the final step of any negotiation. These heroes have but one goal: to rebel. Not against the king, not against God, not even against the world. It's a rebellion against proper human history. Do you understand why you were summoned? The castle was unbearable even for the veteran heroes summoned as servants. In this castle stood crimson brilliance and the darkest insanity. Any man less than a hero would fall to madness. The beauty before them was an emblem of insanity. No Queen Kriemhilde. I know nothing of what. Her name is Kriemhilde. In the Nibelungenlied, she was a princess who vowed to revenge for the murder of her husband Siegfried. Deserting in the face of the enemy. Overlooking the enemy. Disrupting the battlefield by overextending pursuit. Speak. My retreat was due to Ryder's disruption. If I held my ground, death was likely. That was no enemy, it was just a child. I'm to blame. I rightfully accept my punishment. Good. However, certain death was holding your ground, would not have been a meaningless end for your men. You deserve execution. There are no children on the battlefield. Any that were would be servants. We cannot fathom such logic, then you deserve execution. And with that... Why? You must have thought that acting obedient would save you in spite of this demeanor of mine. Very shred and clever, you're unnecessary. Damn you, you're just a crazed, vengeful demon. wonder she's a berserker. What now? Well, yet another gaudy mess thrown about. One for which cleaning is not your duty, Zhang Xiao. And precisely what my puppet soldiers are for. Go see to it. How goes the front line? Stalemate as always. That insufferable man is nothing if not defensive. That is only to be expected from a hero who became known for such a thing. Ah, pardon me. And how fair is your end? I am mobilizing everything from my puppet knowledge and the Taiping Yaoshi, but can't be done overnight. We will grant you the time and the materials, however, failure is not an option. Otherwise, even you will have to be beheaded. Well, then let me put you at ease with all my devotion. That'll do. Are there new servants? It seems more have been summoned into the ranks, though this time it felt more like had gone to the other factions. Has the BGM realm moved? Not as of yet. My men haven't been taking any action beyond scouting. Yes, I suppose their plan is to attack when the other two sides are mutely occupied. They haven't enough numbers to charge in for an ambush, but just enough that they're still fret. Such a humiliating position to be. With the results being this insufferable stalemate. Yes, indeed. Have the assessment team do vigilance. I shall. One last thing, your star of fate has just now taken a shine. Star of fate. The one coming who will bring important change to the singular I speak of. Chaldea. Yes, coming. They are coming. They already come. Oh, what am I to do? I don't know where to start. How exactly can I bring them suffering? How exactly can I bring them misery? Beheadings go without saying, but I've yet to tire of superficial punishments. As though some mage out of the rabble could command those such as us. Oh, calm yourself, my queen. It's a rule in polite society to be courteous with prisoner reward for a time. I don't care for a bit. Very well. Keep on guard until we confirm where he is. Although we are rather lacking in spies. Call back some of the assassins engaged in scouting duties against the BGM realm. Have them keep watch for Chaldea for the time being. Understood. Hey, have you finished talking? How very unusual to come out of your torture chamber, Salome. Torture? I don't even know what that is. And she's finally in the story. She was like the last servant from the free pool to be summoned in the story. All I want is somebody's head. Fair enough. So what brings you here? What is this Chaldea? Well, if I had to put in one word. Enemies, nothing more, nothing less. You'll fight them. I'll kill them. I see. But if one has a lovely enough head, would you save it for me? I'll consider it. There's no telling one way or the other. Really? That is too bad. Well, I'll be going out. Shall I get you something? Maybe Skacker torch cake. Doesn't sound that delicious. No, thank you. Okay, see you later. Is it really fine to let that one indulge herself so much? She's an anti-hero in touch with her own nature. Dying outright won't bring any gain. If she can fight, that makes her strong, so let her play around accordingly. As you wish. Master Zhang Zhao, preparation for the experiment are complete. Splendid, I'll be right there, and with that my queen, I must take my leave. Insufferable, insufferable. Chaldea, dear Grobe, and the Emperor. I hate and every one of them. It's that hero who's to blame for all this. If he isn't summoned soon, I'm going to break down. Hurry, hurry, hurry. He's still looking for Siegfried. That's all I have to report. Thank you. You may withdraw. Yes, oh Emperor. More heroes have lost their lives. Do not mourn, your holiness. Your sorrow is proper, but misplaced. I'll give my life for you. We are all fighting with that resolve. But I don't think I'm someone worthy of all that. One's worth is determined not just by themselves, but by others. However much you may deny it, however much you scorn or blame yourself for this dreamlike children's story. You have our love and respect, heavy fruit they must be. Yes, truthfully it's too heavy a burden. Aha, you're quite a strict one. With that, I couldn't meet my death with such a laughter and contentment. I will not let you walk the path of death, your holiness. Such is our pledge, in my belief. I just told you that it's too heavy. But that will do. It will have to do. We do what we must, to the bitter end. But can I say one thing about this, your emperorship? What is it? All the barbaric atrocity and merciless cruelties performed in my name are they committed not because we are on the brink of death, but because it's what you want? That is a difficult question. If it should be that you cannot face this. You're right. It is not so significant a price, but I will sacrifice myself to save you. The life of an emperor in exile must be worth that much. I know, I'll explain. I only sought to test my worth to you as a pretense, if only a little. No, far more than a little. Is that how you interrupt the voice of the Lord? I cannot say. After all, God's message can be complicated at times. I should hope, in comparison for one, so disrespectful as myself. Although, there is always the option that I... Please, your holiness, not another word, otherwise you stray into restlessness and blasphemy. Oh, how rude. I have always made sure my manners. Is that so? Now then. As always, I'm heading out to worship. Sure, go ahead. I will be late to join you, since I have to strategize with my men. Alright, and if I may add one more thing. The intrigues. Take care not to overdo it with them, or you'll spoil your looks. This spells trouble. I take it her receiving the type of hope is more than significant than apparent. But you know, my dear, I still have a few intrigues to work through you. Your lordship, I am reporting in. Or let's hear your reports. At once. A medium-sized force invaded from the Revenge realm 3 hours ago, moving to take Trigo Neon Tower. The For the archer class assigned to stand by repelled attacked with a similar barrage of their no phantasms. Right, that means I read the situation correctly. Yes, lordship. However, 10 servants who attempt to pursue the retreat were crushed in turn. I gave orders to maintain defensive position and not pursue. Yes. There are some lapse in the Rider, Berserker, and Lancer classes. He said they wanted to press the advantage now. Are you one of the servants in such a hurry to seize the day? I'm truly sorry. Do you feel any remorse? Yes, O Emperor. Do you think you will be granted mercy? I mean... No, forgive me for intimidating you. It's a general instinct to charge out seeking glory. It must be difficult for a ward to suppress that. Your pardon, the rest of you shouldn't judge that harshly. Needless to say, it is your domain to bestow honors where it's fit. Provided, of course, such charges succeed. Yes, your lordship. Very good, next item. A brawl between these two sovereigns. Brawling among servants is a no-no, especially in our realm. Therefore, both of you must be punished. In next battle, your orders are to back up the rear guard. Go on, you've been judged, don't dawdle. That leaves me last. Was to think our local honor student has committed an offense. What offense could one that marched alongside the one and only Alexander the Great be guilty of? I have. Gaha. No, that's the one thing in this round that I forbid. We do not acknowledge proper human history. We acknowledge nothing but rebellion. That goes for cooperation and mercy as well. I thought you realized as much when you came over to this side of things. But we are heroes, true. We're beings who defied the flow of history, were swallowed up, and some even erased. The bonds shackling us to defend the human order have long disappeared, and I simply must make proper human history pay, though that grudge may be completely personal, I suppose. This realm is a gathering. For such people, or something here must have caused a bit of distortion. It's you people who are twisted. That may be, but I will not stop. I'm going to warship. Be gone from my sight. Right away. I am not in error. I am not mistaken. At first our prayers were not for herself, but only for others. Prayers for something, prayers for someone. That was proper, since one can justify their position by the way of devotion. Even so, this prayer is only for herself. Her sin is no sin, her atonement is no atonement. And yet that contradiction is the only result of devotion that comes from fruition here. A contradiction driving her into inexcusable torment. Please deliver me salvation. She simply murmured a wish for which she did not even know towards whom it should be directed. I'm sorry to have kept you. No, that's alright. I've just started my prayers. What's the matter? Nothing at all. Come. Let's resume and give prayer on your behalf. No matter how much blood stains your head, I hope I can shoulder some of your sin's burden. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry even then I have nothing more to offer. End of report. The analysis from casters is that the other two realms withdrew after blooding each other's noses. Stopping short and skirmish as always. They're being wary of us. How's it look for you, Roland? Nothing we don't already know. Our force is smallest, but quality of our troops is anything but inferior. If we put our backs into it, we can hold off anyone at any time. Most of all, this realm is home to our great King Karo, the Growway. Right, Grimhilde and Constantine are nothing compared to us. We have no true king but our great King Karo de Growway. So say, your majesty. Neither the princess warped by revenge, nor the emperor who failed to protect this country. Or any match for us. These are words of Karo de Growway. Yeah, just like we said. Oh, I see. A pretender. And just like we said. We're always the last to take action. A king should never move carelessly. Our assassins must double their effort. All of you are encouraged to keep up your training, he says. Yes, as you command. Your Majesty, Roland and me are up next. Roland, I'll leave it in your capable hands. I'm honored, my lord. Right, let's move out. Roland, don't forget to pack your sense of reason, Kay? Isn't that your major malfunction? Isn't that your major malfunction? Ahem. So how's it going? It's good to live, to fight another day. I'm breathing. A sigh of relief. Your good sir did a fine job as well. Even though I'm doing nothing but grunting out hums and hms. That is more than enough. 100 words can be worth less than 1 cent out of folly. Truth to be told, it's no good. Our kingly aura no longer emboldens once you speak. Did you just make some wisecrack about the crown of my head? You're just paranoid. Is that a fact? Let's put that aside. The enemy scouts are penetrating deeper than ever. Sure enough, this charade won't hold up much longer. The venerated Karo de Growway simply hasn't shown at all. He suffered some kind of wound, or something more serious. It's natural to come to that conclusion. But if I buckled up and stepped into his shoes, that axe would fall on your neck without a word. Haha, that's a real pickle. It's nothing to laugh about. You don't think so? What we basically need is an event to distract from suspiciousness about His Majesty. Like say if a fourth faction were on its way. Just a hunch, though I don't know where I got that from. It's high time we turn things around. Let's make sure we have plenty of scouts ready to take advantage of this opportunity. I suppose it sounds to have faith in your hunches. Understood, as dispatched scouts. where we call not only assassins but riders and casters. If we rely on the other classes for defense, we can hold out to some degree. That includes you too. I gotcha. Your Grace. I sense a turning point for you here, your worship, and I implore you to hold steady. Yeah, of course, I'll show everyone what Don Carlo de Grobe is made of. Your words and actions are treading on dangerous ground now, sir. If you're exposed, it's heads off time. Yeet. Please keep up a mature yet bold front. Is that agreeable? Now then. The fourth faction naturally would be that organization. Heavens know how it would turn out. That burns, so that's what a race ship is like. Something about it seems off. Indeed. It seems the circumstances are different from how we usually race shift. Fair enough, this is my first time after all. I'll leave figuring out what went weird to you guys. Master, can you communicate with Korea? It's Korea here, this Masculite communication operator. We picked up some strange fluctuation during the race shift. Are you alright? I'm okay. That's a relief. Right. We were able to confirm both Master and Cutock's safety from here as well. And Holmes and Vlad weren't thrown astray. You've all made it safely. According to Shiba's opposition, there should be a small town nearby. Is that where we are heading? Whatever the case, the first step is information. We must gather clues, even when risking some danger. That's what the manual says. By the way, let me ask you something. Have you ever made use of suggestion? Suggestion. I get it. So despite knowing you look suspicious, you purposely talk things out, no matter how crazy the notion. Well, it shouldn't matter. His mystic code pretty much eliminates most of the physical discomfort that comes from with magecraft. That is true. It is. Got to show you all the ropes. Well, okay. I'll be using suggestion, so you better think of some questions while you can. Got it. Now how about the destination? Great, it's straight north from your location. Then let's be off. I would have preferred a mount, but we shall make do on foot. Then I shall serve as a rear guard. Yuki Kadok, you two take the center of the formation. Yeah. Holmes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll be right with you. The clear blue sky and gentle breeze make a pleasant sound on grassy meadows. Every bit of it's tranquil, peaceful. And for that reason they couldn't help but a frighteningly ominous promotion. The subject of that promotion was not Cutout, Templars, not Yuki, and not Vale at Ferd, not even Sherlock Holmes. It was despite all the odds, the Skir alone who felt there was no choice but to send him into the singularity. It's all in ruins. No sign of people. It seems fortune does not favor us. No sign of anyone. You say, Mr. Simplest, can you perform a detailed analysis of debris? Analysis? You want me to date it or something? If you could, I can garner some knowledge of the events, but naturally the versatility is limited. Reaching the magnitude of matter is not possible without the use of magecraft. But this time we have a Magus with us. So that's how it is, huh? It's not exactly my expertise, but nothing I can't do. I'll essentially just performing meteorological dating. Yes, that will be fine. Furthermore, I realize that this debris is not man-made, but magical in nature. Magical. Perhaps there's a debris. Or perhaps the whole town. Let's wait for his analysis first. What kind of joke is this? What is it? Well, long story short, this whole thing is woven together using magecraft. I guess it's almost like a caster territory creation skill. This kind of feat would be difficult for any ordinary Magus, but Serving could pull it off easily. The whole area is reminiscent of something from medieval to modern Europe. How strange indeed. Via said there were no sign of human activity earlier. But the way it appears to me, it is as if it never had been used in the first place. What do you mean? Is akin to a movie set, metaphorically speaking. There are faint traces of use, but not over an extended period of time. This place was constructed in an instant by a servant or a Magus. Or so I would like to believe. I see. Such things do occur, strange as they may sound. Then allow me to pose a question, detective. Yes. Assuming that this town were created by a servant or something equivalent, who would have been the one to destroy it? Well, it is certainly not due to a natural disaster, nor was it simply overturned by nature. What was in the walls, likely from arrows, nicks, and scratches caused by the stray blow from weapons in close quarters. To those of us gathered here, this should be a regretful memory site. This was a battleground for servants. Master Aaron, please be on guard. I'm sending servants heading directly towards you. The numbers. Ash. No, this can't be right. Da Vinci. I got the same here as well. This can't be a malfunction. Stay calm, listen, Yuki. You got an army of servants heading your way. Wait, an army? Yeah. I got about 100 separate signals, all of them servants. What? Let me reconfirm that. They're actually servants and not something comparable to them. I'm already double and triple checked. I'm positive. Now either hide or get out of there. Another army has disappeared. Their numbers are roughly the same. How indeed? So this town is to become the center of pincer attack by servants. Enemy contact is imminent. Oh, then let us make ourselves secure. Cut up, Master. Concealing one presence would prove difficult, so long as one is not of the assassin class. However, when they have formed large groups like this, likelihoods of being found anyway is quite high. I would like you two to conceal yourself elsewhere. Lord Wulan and I will do our best to slip past him. Use your command spell. If need be, even if the worst comes to pass, we should probably be able to turn this around. Roger. I shall count on you two. We shall do the same, of course. To do what? What are the false aims of the approaching servants exactly? Gathering information is our first priority. Every bit of their words and deeds we observe will be invaluable. Got it. Thank you, Mr. Yuki. Well, goodbye for now. Here should be good. Let's dig out a hiding place. Should I get more debris? Yeah, probably. Something big enough to conceal this, but not so much that it draws attention. Okay. This should work. Alright, Yuki. Hurry up and get in, and don't move a muscle. Rat's body in hiding, cat's by way escape. Let shout cleverness prevail, oh cunning. What's that? Consume magecraft. I don't know if it'll fool a servant, but it's better than nothing. Amazing. Are you serious? This is some pretty basic stuff. The incantation isn't even shortened. It's still too slow to be used in a spur of the moment. But it doesn't matter now. It helps with soundproofing too. But don't raise your voice. What kind of magus are you? Oh, you're asking me about my magecraft. Should I not? No, it's fine. It's on the verge of bulk sonance now. Anyway, actually, it probably already is. Telling you about it won't make a difference at this point. It's an anti-beast magecraft meant for fighting animals. Man has been his worst enemy ever since ancient times, but predators were still up there in terms of threats. No human could win against a beast barehanded. So the creation of magecraft to fight them was probably inevitable. You can probably guess why it's on its way out now. Both tracking and killing beasts. All of that can be done with modern means in the present day. It's helpful for bringing down beasts of prey. But those sort of beasts don't even exist in the modern age mod anymore. I get that that's the fate of magecraft in general. The art grows stronger and more stable with time, but eventually loses purpose. Did you ever think about quitting being a mage? If you were expecting to catch me off guard, it didn't work. Well, let me give you a tip. If you ask that of any normal mage, they probably kill you as a matter of course. It's like asking why don't you die since your life is meaningless. It would piss anybody off. Sorry. I can't raise it against you right now. Anyway, you got me on leash after all. Sorry that was uncalled for. I guess I'm still holding a grudge. Looks like we're out of time for small talk. We got as far away from the center of town as we could, so now we'll just have to pray they don't find us. Here they come. Deep breath. According to our scouts, the enemies this time are once again mid-class. Our strategy is blanket the area with the archers no phantasm while deploying the riders on the flanks. The saber and lancer will hold the center while the riders will charge in and cause a stray amongst the front line. Make sure you each time release your no phantasm correctly. Unbelievable, they really are all servants. What are their true names? No clue, but they are all from different ages and countries. Despite that, they are all organized into a single army. Shit, I can't believe this. What kind of singularity is this even? There's a limit at how many servants you can summon using a holy grail or ley line in the first place. You know what a street servant is, right? One with no master. Yeah. You likely encountered them a few times in both Singularities and Lostbelts. Exceptional servants tied to land or the grail summoned in some way. Like Beowulf was in the Russian Lostbelt. But even accounting for that, it's not a huge amount. If you combine the two sides, that'd be something in the vicinity of 200 servants running around right here. Which means this town would be flattened. You're probably in danger here too. Let's just stay away from places that look like they might become battlegrounds. At the very least, they don't seem to be here for us. Well, let's just see how things play out. Sound like you've been given to desperation. Maybe. I'll have to think about this later. I'm just acting in both our best interests for now. Looks like they are starting. Archer events. Hold. Fire. Ready command spells. Release Nova Phantasms. Phantom Great first, then Heroic Spirit Great. Command spell Replenish. Release Nova Phantasm. Armor Piercing Bolts. Lightning Longbow. What? I just fall back, hurry it up. We only suffer minor casualties. Damn, that's a Heroic Spirit Great caster protection spell. Stay in regard, this is do or die. Heroic Spirit Great? I told you to keep quiet, but I'm curious about that too. They're defending here as well. Shoot, no kid, we can't hold. Keep shooting, we need to buy more time. We're getting slaughtered here. Riders, aren't you there yet? We're reaching the point now, ready to What? What is it? Ambush on the right flank assassins. It's going to take time to reorganize. This is the left flank. We're being blocked by the casters' boundary fields. We're going to need time as well. If we don't match the timing with our charges, we'll be less than half as effective. Damn it, how the hell do we explain this to Queen Kriemhilde? Kriemhilde. Who is that? I'll tell you later. Has there been a movement from the other side? Report. Both the Restoration Realm and the Constant armies are in complete disarray. Very good. Smells like victory. Time for us to step in. We'll come out ahead while they fight. Then wouldn't it be better to wait a little longer? Or we jump right before they're destroyed? Forget about that. The Revenge Realm will take a big hit either way. Now's a chance to do a little more damage to the Restoration Realm. Let's go. Excellent, keep this up and we'll crush Kriemhilde's army. Reporting. The Via Regia Realm Card de Grove army is advancing. The back rank has been hit and the rear guard is about to rout. Damn it, not again. They're led by Wulan from the Legends of Traum. They're overtaking our back ranks, we can't stop them. Retreat, fall back to the Restoration Realm. We can't win a battle on two fronts. Have the assassins create some cover while the archers buy us time with a barrage. Longbow, crossbows, guns, it doesn't matter. Just keep shooting. Fire as you are reloaded. Constant time men are retreating. Time for us to fall back to. Keep the casters on standby until riders can catch up. Cut off their pursuit by altering the landscape. Roger that. Leave the rest to us. Metamorphosis. Lord Roland. Grimhilde Band has transformed the surrounding areas into a swamp. There's no way for our own caster to freeze it over. Well, whatever. Today was a draw, but we gave those restoration bets for good kicking. The only one to come out ahead was our own BGM Composers. Raise your voices, men, to his victory. Yeah. Let's get naked, that's what he says. Yeah? What the heck did you just say? Shh, I heard him too, but keep your voice down. Must have imagined it. Well, let's pull out. Tonight will be stark naked from the dusk to dawn. Stark naked? Mr. Riku, Mr. Zeppelus. Could you please come out? It appears to be safe now. Phew, that had me in a cold sweat. They missed us entirely. It seems Master has the devil's own luck. Consequently, we could not overhear any of their conversations. Most of this town has been reduced to rubble, but there still remains a few safe buildings. Let's retire to one and regather our thoughts until now. And that's quite long. Well then, a cup of tea to start off with would be great, but put it out of your mind. There's nothing but liquor in the bar. This atmosphere doesn't lend itself well to wine tasting. It's unfortunate, but maybe another opportunity will present itself. Now then, both of you, please recall what you learned. It doesn't matter how small a detail may seem. I see. Armies of servants. This liquor site is something I once dreamed of. Never did I think it would actually materialize though. According to the database, the largest recorded battle between servants was 7 against 7, which was during the Apocrypha event. Regarding his battles with multiple servants, exceptions like the final singularity do exist, however. That was practically a miracle. Bear in mind that it was the decisive battle to protect the human order. Servants taking up large-scale battle formations like we saw just now is unprecedented. Indeed, it's certainly very interesting. At glance, there seemed to be a bowman from around 100 years war period, a long bowman to be exact. There was also some samurai from the far east, judging by his armor. I say probably some warlord from the Warring State period. There was another guy with an old Tanugashima upgrades from Japan, as well as someone who looked like an American cowboy. The caster mostly had their face hidden or were obscuring their identities. The so-called 7th class seems to be roughly equally distributed in numbers, coming from an extended span of regions as well. Seems like it. So next would be the terms Heroic Spirit grade and Phantom grade. That would be the ranking on the sync graphs. There were more than 200 servants. Not all of them were heroes who made their marks on proper human history. Going by Kayok's report, consider a hypothetical knight who fought in some famous battle. A nameless person who would not be summoned normally but was in fact summoned here. With that said, they were still undoubtedly servants. So it seems. Why confirm what seems like reminders, Holmes? Because there's a sustainable difference between something like a servant class, demon class, and a servant itself. Although its rather loose term is most correct to describe a servant as a heroic spirit with a master. Of course, even this has a very broad meaning. Following that definition, my substitution is that stray servants or heroic spirits that have temporary master and form of the land they are summoned in. To return to our previous topic, no matter how weak or strong they may be, they cannot be a servant if there is no master. Then those servants were great mystery indeed. Who is their master really? Or is there something exceptional that warrants the absence of a master? We don't know yet, huh? Yes, I'll have to investigate a little more about those realms that were mentioned. It mostly likely referred to a nation or a territory. The Revenge realm, the Restoration realm, and the Via Regia realm. They may represent the currency of each faction and taking into account the names that you overheard. Revenge round and the name Kriemhilde. That is without doubt the Kriemhilde from Siegfried's legend. I infer her class is Saber or Berserker, though there's also possibility of it being Avenger. From the battle formations of the heroic spirits, it can be assumed that she has quite the intellect, or that she has been an excellent adjutant. Restoration realm, Constantine. There are multiple Constantine, but my deduction suggests it'll be the 11th. Constantine the 11th, the last emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire. The name Restoration is certainly intriguing, but let's put that aside, being unknown for now. Lastly, Via Regia realm and Carl de Grobe. That's such a big name to appear here. If it's indeed Carl de Grobe, it would be overwhelming. He should be on a level where I would completely declare that he'd win this war. I am of the same opinion. Neither Kriemhilde nor Constantine could compare to him. Is Carl de Grobe really that amazing? You should pay more attention to your studies. His name is one that looms over European history for one of the most well known in the whole world. The King of Franks, who became the first emperor of the successor of the ancient Rome, the Holy Roman Empire. Essentially one of the forefathers of Europe. The struggle with servant depends not only on their individual qualities, but also their level of fame and the depths of their mystery. Taking that into account, Carl de Grobe would be a top-ranked servant. However, there are some things that weigh on my mind. He's waging war, for example. Waging war. I'm referring to the maneuver of Via Regia's realm army. In order to reduce losses of their own troops, they withdraw until a suitable point in time, let the other faction fight it out. Lord Vita, will you say that such attack is suitable for a situation like this? I would. It's just that. It's what? It was a clash between medium-sized unit. It seemed to be rather one-sided as well. As such, depending on how they time the interventions, it should be been possible to fully subjugate the enemy. If I had been in command, I would have waited a little longer before entering the fray. The already pressured restoration realm forces would have no choice but to strike revenge realm forces as hard as they could to avoid being caught in a pincer maneuver. The Regia realm would then be in position to mercilessly destroy the exalted soldiers of the restoration realm. If they had then attempted to retaliate, ignoring the revenge realm, they would already be far too deep behind the enemy lines. At that point, even a glancing attack from archer or caster could cause a considerable damage. For what I've observed, the timing certainly seems roughly handled. But what if it wasn't? What? Well, what if their timing wasn't roughly handled? I can think of several other possibilities. However, it is not something that can be confirmed at the moment. Ah, could you mean it isn't time to talk about it yet? Aha, you beat me to it. Now then, regarding their goals. Most of the stray servants summoned by the Holy Grail, the source of their respective singularity, were in service of the human order. Or at least our past experience indicate as much. Likewise, the heroic spirit summons in rituals, such as Holy Grail War, also tend to be on the side of the human order. That said, the nature of the heroic spirits vary greatly. Their personality may alter depending on whether they have been mastered or not. A virtuous hero or monster bearing their fangs. Both are equally valid sides of the same person, who record of the past. You've been talking about fundamental stuff for a while now, Holmes. A little roundabout, don't you think? Haha, my apologies. Well, essentially, this situation would normally be possible. The servants, whether they are good or evil, have foreign armies and mobilized as part of them. Land, country, ideology, faith and lineage seem to all have been thrown out the window. In some ways, it's ideal world. With that said, the three kingdoms are so call them three realms. As they're fighting against each other, there must be something that they disagree on. So are they our enemies or could they be allies? Is it possible to arrange for a temporary cooperation, something between me and you guys? I would hope that one of these realms are on our side. Okay, I have to be cautious in our approach. After all, this battlefield is organized serpents armies. It's not one we have experienced before. Holmes and I are both limited in what we can do. The four medium-sized unit would annihilate us, no matter which realm they are served. The difference is just too vast, and they have their no phantoms and trump cards as well. Master to battle position, the enemy is here. Already? Oh, enemy. Your head is mine. I think not. Assassins. Is enemy servant. I'm sorry, master. Princess concealment. Oh dear, that was close. Via that free notice him. I see. The smell of blood alerted him. There's no need to fret. I will enter the battle now. Is that alright, master? Go ahead. I'll stand back for now. There's no need to put myself in danger anyway. Yes, please do so. Now then, you seem to be hunting for survivors. Miles asks, which realm are you from? Keeping silent at sea, regardless of the fact you are my enemies, does not change. I shall hunt you without mercy. Let's go. Prepare to receive my stakes of anguish and remorse. Well, at least I can use my servants. Assassins. Sure do have a lot of MP though.
よし、ちょっとかっこいいところ見せてやるぜ。発動、行くぜ。全力全開。頼むから力を貸してくれ。おっ、あ。永続不変の輝き。千変無限の彩り、万物不動の騎士たちよ、我が王友を断ち据えて失敗許ずオードル。へっ、ぶっ潰る
殺すのね、了解。殺すのね。殺すね。死ね。憎いから殺す。殺すから殺すの。思い知らせなさい、バルムック。汝が力は我が呪いの重責なり。殺さない。フリート、ジークフリート。
No, damn it, region. I hate the region so much.
Yo
Yo Karo.
よーし、勝った。騎士の振る舞い見てくれたかい。
Gah! Your power command spells. Damned be you, our enemy. That's how things. I will not call it tripling task for many reasons. Are you monitoring Da Vinci, like the analyst of the combat data? Da Vinci? Can you hear me? Can't hear over all the static. A large interference occurred on our side the moment the battle started. We were in no condition to provide advice, as the data we were collecting is unreliable. The same as in the Fairy Kingdom. I won't be so sure. I've noticed some slightly difference in nuance. No electric devices were allowed in the Fairy Kingdom. That was a concept born out of the rejection of proper human history. But here, despite the constant interference, the equipment did not lose its function. Meaning we should believe that the mechanism at work here is not the same as in the Fairy Kingdom. Man, you're pretty much how I imagined the Great Detective. That is because I am the Great Detective. Was there anything of note in the battle we just fought? Either master or cutout may answer. Command spells. Alright. Yeah, command spell loaded. Not normal command spells, those support command spells. Same kind Chaldea's master used. Well, that explains why we have so much command spells to use. They were loaded with enough energy to fire off an offensive without charging one. So who gave them command spells? That's the question. If it was a master, we can safely assume them not to be any normal human being. Command spells were activated in the battle we just witnessed, and again, in the one we just fought. That's not something anyone would do with a resource that can only be used 3 times. I could understand if they had a magic core recharging the command spells. But nothing suggests they did. Even the most skilled mage. Yeah, I don't think even Kistari could have done that. Even assuming Magus on his level is still alive, it still sounds impossible. Then where did their command spell come from? It looked like they fell from the sky. The sky. Well, let's avoid jumping to conclusion this early. We're severely lacking in information. Only one fact remains right now. They called us their enemy. They're unquestionably hostile to us. What should we do about it? Good question. A reasonable approach would be to find a servant willing to help us, a local, to share information about what's happening here. Ideally one each, but we need at least one or the other. Any comment homes? It won't be easy. The search for an ally amongst the servants shouldn't go the usual route in this case. All servants are obviously in savage conflict against each other. I have little hopes of finding a local either. Also, the town we're in sees us all. What do you think it was built for? The most likely reason is the setting for battle to death. The town was made just for what we witnessed. Knowing that this was North America, we should naturally assume the local populations inhabited the area. But they either escaped or died as a collateral of war. Whichever it is, it's safe to assume we'll find no locals here. Therefore, we must somehow find a servant who shares our interests. Well, not the most honorable method to solve our problems. I assume no one here is against torture or capture servants or information, correct? Information gained through torture is not trustworthy, so I prefer a more amicable approach. So be it. Master, special warning. Special warning. What the hell is that? Crap, I forgot to inform Cutout. It's a warning from our previous combat data indicates the presence of one particular kind of servant. Having more Mesiah with us for such a long period of time really helped out a lot. You don't mean? Just as he guessed, Taro, an apostle of the alien god. with Limbo eliminated and Mr. Muramasa having given his life. There's only one left, Gruger Rasputin, that is Gotami Curie. For what reason could he have shown his face here? What's going on? Something inside me seems certain it's not him. But it's the fact that he's the only opposite of the alien god left. No wait, unless... Indeed, I do feel the presence of a servant. But not also of the alien god. Oh dear, you got me good. No point in hiding what it is. It's already known. That is not Rasputin. You are... So nice to meet you, my dear Holmes. No, I shouldn't act so familiar with an older gentleman. How about Sir Sherlock? If you'll pardon the sarcasm. No way, this can't be. Oh, you know of me? That makes things easier. My name is James Moriarty, mathematician consultant, and as you guessed, apostle of the alien world. And look, you can see all 4 items now, instead of just one by one. That's pretty nice. You can see all 4 items. And now the 3rd chapter, but the final one. An overwhelming large presence stands before me as I respond to his summoning. I see. I comprehend all that must be done. An influx of knowledge. And acquisition power. With those in hand, I comprehend everything about myself. Very well, I will gladly accept these orders. I am Napoleon of crime, and an apostle of the alien world. I am James Moriarty. And I shall do what I must. So what is your objective, Professor? The Honorable Sherlock Holmes can't even think that far. Naturally, my goal is the emulation of all of you. Kaude is nothing but a hindrance to me. I am an apostle of the alien world after all. Alien world, not of the alien god? Is that so, but you... yeah, excuse me, but I have no interest in speaking with a broken doll. So I ask you to leave the stage here. The transmission. Not in Sherlock Holmes. A stately nobleman, whom I assume must be Wheelat III. And Cuddle Exemplis, and Yuki. Let me ask once again, was your objective, James Moriarty? If I said I was here to purge a traitor, what would you think? I'd be honored and thank you for my good fortune. Then I bend over laughing how petty the alien god really is. But that is not what you mean, is it? Well, naturally, the alien god has no interest in you, the slightest. Ain't that great? Let me reassure you, you are not a traitor in any sense. The alien god desired Kristar would die alone. The rest of you are nothing more than a cheap toys that come with the cereal when you agree. Yeah, I know. What kind of analogy is that? There is but one reason for me to appear before you. At this point. Everyone get out here. Avoid battle at all costs. You're really slow, aren't you, Sherlock? If your home was in flesh, you would have seen through me before I even show my face. Bloodstained King Kazuku Bay. Oh. I failed to hit him, but he remains unharmed. However disappointing, Lord Impaler. I've been granted 2 powers as a postal of the alien world, though one is less impressive than the other. Even so, power is something to be used after all. He shrugged off Vilat's for no phantasm. Just what kind of power is that? Based on previous data, he must have the power of divine spirit, much like Limbo and Murmasa did. Being closely cut off, Murari remains unharmed. The Nova Phantom definitely connected with him. He just took 0 damage. So it's not that he recovered, it's like he was never hit in the first place. I can't jump to any conclusion right now, but I just can't stop myself from thinking about it. I admit, I can't quite stomach being possessed by another person's or another god's power. No, excuse me, it's quite invigorating actually. Yeah, I bet. Not in agreement. I see, it did connect, yet proved early meaningless. That power of yours. You never did comprehend, did you, Sir Sherlock? Everything about me was always incomprehensible to you. And yet for me, the opposite holds true. I know all that you think and all you plan to do. There is a stark asymmetry in odds. In this moment, you are nothing more than a prey to be devoured. You shall not. How naive. His fingers on Lord Relat's head. It is not solely Sherlock Holmes' action I can read. Yours, and in fact all Chaldeas, are like an open book to me. I cannot move. What is this power? Chains, rope, mystic eyes. No, it's none of those. I'm being conquered, not from the outside, but from within. My very will to move itself is being suppressed. Yuki, do you have any interest in shogi? I don't know how to play, not in the least. Oh, you really must try it, it's quite the fad, you know? I very much enjoy it myself. You make use of pieces you capture, thereby dramatically increasing your available options. You truly are wounded against demonic beasts. Your decision making in the face of predator is cardinal. But you were too slow. Your best option would have been to drop everything and run the instant you recognized me. Rise up and rebel. Damn you. Now which realm will you choose? It remains unclear to me yet. I bet you got to see Vlad, the third hero of Romania. Lord Vlad. Stay away. It's not good treason, betrayal. I see. This is why the servants. Executive. Lord Vlad. From this moment, my purpose has been reversed. I have become a traitor to the human order. Praise the fickle, mistress, yet if you do not accept it, you cannot move forward. However, the one thing I despise in this world above all else is imposition of one's will to unto the other. Blood-stained King Demon Kazuku Bay. Basically suicide. I suppose trained servants would have a certain degree of backbone. To choose neither death nor capitulation, but to merely pin yourself upon your own stakes. End. What's the plan and judgment making? Making their escape the instant the no offenses went off, or perhaps right before. Did they abandon the servant? No. At the very end, somebody shouted they would be back for him. Either way, the game is afoot, but first. Hey you servant, who are you? Oh dear, did I overstay my welcome? I should say they were certainly earned a head start. Now I merely need to find where he escaped to. Doesn't matter, all the roads lead to Rome. Revenge, restoration, and rearrange are all forms of rebelling against proper human history. What are you going on about? Please excuse me. I'm going to have to ask you to forget everything you saw here. To put it bluntly, die. That's very sad. It's online. See you guys later.